Hey everyone, it's the Geeky Gamer. Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2, that's a mouthful, officially released recently after it leaked back in July, which means we've gotten 2 full seasons of Dragons Rising so far. After the fanbase was so split over Crystallized, which in my opinion is vastly overhated, and worried about the prospect of a soft reboot, it's great to see the Ninjago community mostly united in praise of this new era. Well, besides the nostalgia-blind elitists who still think Kai should have been the Green Ninja, or the people suddenly mad that Cole seems pretty gay when I'm pretty sure he was the ninja most commonly in gay ships. I can name Lava, Bruise, Glacier, I don't know what else. But besides those haters, it seems everyone loves Dragons Rising, and so do I. Take it from a true OG who's been here since the pilots and has theorized with fellow first grade boys about who the Green Ninja would be, although I did fall behind the rest of the community after Season 2 and didn't truly catch up to speed until the island. I love Dragons Rising. But just saying I love it doesn't feel like enough. I figured I should probably make a more formal review of what we have so far. This is going to be a bit of a shorter review of both seasons since I've got other stuff planned for this month that's more time sensitive, but I want to get some of my opinions on specific things down. Hopefully Season 3 should get a full review when it comes out next year. For now, let's break down the first 2 seasons of Ninjago Dragons Rising and this bold new era of the franchise. When I say bold, I mean it. Dragons Rising shook up the status quo like crazy. Merging together all the realms was a great idea. In the original series, sure, they went to different realms that felt like whole new worlds, but those realms really never played a part again afterwards, probably due to the complication in accessing them, such as the Never Realm being the most remote. Now that they're all merged together, it's far easier for previously explored realms to still play a role in the story, because they're all in the same plane of reality. The original 6 ninja have been getting some great stories here. Lloyd finally gets to step into his role as a ninja master, something that's been teased since Season 5, almost 10 years ago. Kai's matured a lot, still being the most of a hothead out of the original 6, but now having to keep an eye on a student who's even more hot-headed than he is, really showing how far he's grown. Nia's been getting some much-needed focus, and I'm sure we'll get plenty more with her once we fully dive into the Evil J story, hopefully next season. Cole has also gotten some of that much-needed focus, and I really hope he continues to get that. Also, yeah, there is zero heterosexual explanation for some of the scenes between Cole and Gio. These dudes are gay with 2 adopted kids and a wine aunt. Unfortunately, it's not all perfect. As for that aforementioned Evil J storyline, they're working on it. Jay's gotten less than 10 minutes of present day screen time so far. It sounds like they'll finally be getting to focus on him in Season 3. And then there's Zane, who has been done a bit dirty by Dragons Rising. He's been very robotic lately. Luckily, Doc White has acknowledged this and is seeing what they can do. Maybe this could change once Pixel returns? As for the new ninja, they're great new characters. Aaron is a really interesting addition to the team, a ninja fanboy with no powers of his own, but who taught himself a form of spinjitzu. We've been so used to the ninja having elemental powers, one without any is a shakeup. Also, he helps to finally make spinjitzu an important part of the show again. But with all his not having power stuff and his shaky self-taught spinjitzu, it lends a bit to his inferiority complex, which is starting to lead him to some darker thoughts and a darker path. On the flip side, Sora had a great arc in Season 1, going from doubtful about her abilities to confident in them, unlocking her true potential, which is something we haven't seen from anyone else in a long time. It was great to see again. She and Aaron have a great dynamic as friends, but it's gotten so much more interesting as they've drifted apart. Also, her technology powers, while not making too much sense, are cool, and side note, her arm is totally a prosthetic. And then there's Wildfire, Kai's aforementioned hot-headed student. It's interesting having a main character who grew up in such a completely different society from the rest of the cast, that being not society, just being raised by dragons. Her mellowing out and adjusting to having friends and stuff has been neat, but I'm still hoping we get more explanation on her origins. They still haven't brought up that stuff with the caregiver bot. Lastly, we've got Ryu. He's got some mysteries to him surrounding his own powers and the potential of him being a source dragon, but for now, it's fun to have an actual dragon on the team. He's kind of like a big dog. A really big dog, who can fly. On to the villains, and there's really only one so far deserving of highlight. Raz is such an incredible new villain, and has already made his mark as one of the best villains in the franchise's history. I'd say up there with the likes of greats like Garmadon, Pythor, Chen, Moro, Notakon, Harumi. Dang, Ninjago's had a lot of great villains. A lot of people have drawn attention to how much they've leaned into Raz being an anthropomorphic tiger, growling and snarling between sentences, having natural night vision, and running on all fours during the battle at the Shadow Dojo. But on top of all that, he's a foe with fascinating motives, and there's still a lot of mystery to those motives. He seemed to be manipulating Aaron in Season 2, and has also manipulated Beatrix, Georgiana, maybe even Cinder as well, plus his attempts to use the Forbidden Five, all making him a powerful foe on a level even further than the physical strength he obsesses over. Another point, it's hard to tell what parts of Raz is saying are true or not. We're just as clueless to his intentions as the ninja are, and we might also sort of be getting manipulated by him in a meta way. Can't wait to see more and finally learn what he and his mysterious master really have planned. For a bit of the actual seasons themselves, I'm not going to go super in depth on the story. Season 1 was a big, tight-knit story that did an amazing job setting up the new series. 20 22-minute episodes made it the longest season of Ninjago to date, which was probably needed to keep a good pace and introduce everything for Dragons Rising, such as the merged realms, new heroes and villains, and reintroducing the original ninja for new viewers. After that, Season 2 admittedly felt a bit disconnected with itself, with the two halves being so different, one focused on the Blood Moon and the other focused on the Tournament of the Sources, whereas Season 1 was almost entirely focused on fighting Imperium. But if you think about it, each half of Season 2, which is the same length as Season 1, is as long as each season of the original series from Season 4 to 9. So it's kind of like we got 2 seasons here, they were just connected directly. Both seasons are great so far, and some of Ninjago's best. While some elements of Dragon's Rising seem a bit aimed at new, younger viewers, that Lloyd nose-picking joke felt way out of place in Ninjago. There's been some great leans back into some darker and more mature elements. Beatrix commits fratricide and regicide by orchestrating the death of her father, Emperor Levo. The wolf mask combined with the mallet and gong of shattering shatter the goodness in one's soul. Frack almost fell into that, and Jay already has. Roz attempts to use literal human sacrifice to break the Forbidden Five out of nether space. Lloyd's visions caused by being a Source Dragon conduit and how he reacts to them seem very similar to an anxiety disorder. Egalt suffering from wasting sickness has been confirmed to be an allegory for degenerative diseases and the effects they have on the patient and those around them. Also, just straight up murder of 3 Archdragons, making Noct and Rox legally serial killers if they weren't that already from their past crimes, and a Source Dragon having been murdered. It's great to see Ninjago still avoiding going too kiddie. Despite the LEGO aesthetic, this franchise can get dark at times. One of the last points I wanted to cover is the greater serialization of the series across multiple seasons. The original series did a bit of serialization. Season 1 intentionally led into Season 2, Season 3 had a cliffhanger leading into Season 4 and 4 into 5, Season 7 led into the Oni trilogy, and there was the small Vengestone arc from Season 13 to 15. But Dragon's Rising is doing this on a larger scale, with the seasons being much more directly connected. Instead of, Zane died to the last villain, now the new villain has Zane, then us beating that guy released a new guy, it feels like a longer interconnected story, especially with Roz as a villain across multiple seasons, and Aaron's arc going across multiple seasons. It's a cool experiment and paying off very well so far, and we probably have the full switch to airing on YouTube and streaming services rather than TV to thank for that, making it easier to start from the beginning of the story. With that serialization stuff in mind, I wanted to mention some plot points and threads I'm hoping we'll get some follow-up on in Season 3 and beyond. An obvious one is the Forbidden Five being on the loose and Aaron going with Roz in hopes that Roz will help him find his parents. We know that's continuing next season. Another obvious thread is the Evil Jay storyline, which is rumored to continue in Season 3. There's also the stuff with Wu causing the merge, and the portal gates, and potentially Roz's and Master's plan bundled in there. Something about a Cauldron of Realms. We still don't know where Cole went in Season 1 after the battle in the Land of Lost Things, but we have confirmation we'll learn eventually. Pixel has been directly mentioned as being missing, so hopefully they'll find her. Beatrix is likely still out there, since everyone else who got sucked into the Mergequake rifts during the storm came out okay. We still need to find out who murdered that one Source Dragon. There's mystery surrounding how powerful Ryu is, and we still don't know what's up with Wildfire's origins. Why did she land in the wildness in a high-tech pod that became a caregiver bot? Where is she even from? And how will the current Shatterspin comics with the younger Garmadon tie into things? There's a lot of loose ends right now. Luckily, they have a 3 to 4 year story planned, possibly up to 6 years, and they've said they'll make more seasons of Dragon's Rising if we keep watching, so go watch the show! Like I said back in my video from August about who I hope to see return, which is still getting good views, holy crap, I'm loving Dragon's Rising so far. It's a great, bold new era of Ninjago, keeping things from getting too stale and also paying some respect back to the original series. I don't think we could have asked for a better sequel series / soft reboot to our favorite show about Plastic Ninja, and I'm somewhat patiently awaiting the next installment, as Season 3 is set to arrive next year. Let's just hope that season doesn't suffer a catastrophic leak like Season 2 Part 2 did. I'm the Geeky Gamer, see ya!